to achieve, but I think that's always something that it's more um, philosophical, or it's more like not concrete actions. And if we say like to a brand, for example, you need to be carbon neutral, it's very nice to say that, but for the brand, for the brand manager, it's very hard to understand what are the steps that they can take to achieve this. So with this pledge, what we wanted to do is to create a community space where people can share all the tips, and they can share the concrete actions to achieve all these goals. So if we come to the athletes, you can see here on the right side that it's what is related, if it's about climate, if it's about advocating, or if it's about like life on Earth or the consumption. So we have different goals, like about the CO2 reduction on the travels, on the participation in activities that they have high carbon emissions, or on the offsetting of the offset compensation of the travels. That's all related to climate. It's some goals are related to promotion of local activities that they have less impact, or power that we have to influence the community, and also our political power. So I think that are important things, because at the end it's about getting giving, or yes, saying what we want, saying what are we, or our goals and our plans for the future to the guys that they can really make a big difference. That it's mostly the government. So like to try to get politically active for climate change is very important. And then it's some activities, some goals that they are more related to the life on Earth. So about doing some volunteering work on environmental or conservation, to get informed about the local and seasonal restrictions where we practice, because that's something that is very local. It's not the same kind of terrain here in Norway than let's say in Colorado. Here in Norway, it's very wet. It's a little population, so we have a right to roam, and we can it's not trail, so you go off trail all the time, and you need to take care on a certain way. In Colorado, it's a very dry terrain, so it's important to follow different rules, like on staying on the trail on places where it's overcrowded, and different. So it's important to get informed of where we go, what are the specifics, because those might be very different from place to place. And then the 8 and 9 goal are related about our consumption. So we come from a overconsumption society, where we need to buy the latest, and we don't really think about the life cycle of the product, but just the use. But it's important to, when we buy, to know where it comes from, if it has been coming from a model that they thought where they extract the source materials, and what it will be the life of this gear after that, and to do our part, like to recycle, to reuse, to repurpose, so we make this gear last longer. And at the end is like the lifestyle, to adapt a more friendly lifestyle, that it comes from what we eat to where we put our money on the banks, or in the where we get the energy, the powering. So that are the goals, and that's something that it can look very very far away. But the goal of the charter, it was to have a place where you can really see tips, concrete actions that everybody can do. And if you, let's say, you want to focus on the goal 6, do one act of some environmental work every year. Here you can find places where you can do this volunteering, and what it is. Or if we, let's say, get informed of the local and seasonal restrictions, also you can see exactly all the like a map where all the different places where you can have different restrictions. So let's say here in US, you can see all the different restrictions in the different national parks. So it's a place where you can easily access and see before you plan a trip where you, what you can do and what you can't do in this place. And I think the strength of the platform is that it's open, kind of an open source, so everybody can collaborate and can edit and can give tips. So for example, for recycling, reuse, reduce, it's some tips that you can see and say, okay, that's a good idea on like what I can do with my old running poles, the carbon poles, I can make something else. But if you have an idea, you can go to the website and share with everybody. So I believe that it's in collaboration that we can have more knowledge, and with this knowledge, we can just inspire other people to do the same. So that's a bit the goal of the platform, to not only say you need to do that, but to inspire people on concrete actions that they can take.
Fabulous, Kilian. Thank you. I think you're right. It's so important. Concrete actions. That I think one of the things we've been talking about is during the conference is how people can kind of with everything that's going on, that people I think can feel powerless and don't know what actions to take. And so I think giving people like a template, if you like, or a kind of guidelines is really important, because then it makes it really easy to follow, and for then actions to follow as a result. So yeah, what I had a question following on from the last time we spoke, which I didn't get a chance to ask you, but do you have any idea of what kind of impact in terms of like tons of CO2, this kind of thing? So do you have some kind of goal statistics for what you're looking to achieve with this charter?
Yes, actually, you can see that on the charter, it's different goals for athletes, events. Let's say like for brands, we have put the goal to be carbon neutral on 2030. So in a 10 years place, that all the businesses that they join the charter, they will be monitored to be neutral in terms of carbon. And also for all the organizations to achieve the same goal. So we know that in 2050 we need to be a carbon neutral society in general, if we want to really, if we take seriously the climate change. And in the Paris agreements, the first goal was to be carbon neutral in 2030. That some countries that they have these guidelines and these laws, but many countries they are behind. Like China just announced that they are planning to be on 2060. So it's I think it's important that as outdoor sports we are on the forefront of that. So to be carbon neutral in 2030 for the businesses, that is the ones that they need to make more systemic changes. But as athletes, I think we can start to be carbon neutral from now, and that's reducing our travels. And for that, it's some athletes that I have spoken with, and they joined the charter, like Xavier Tevenard. He has been winning UTMB 3 times. He's one of the best athletes on ultra running, and he has decided not to take a plane for any race from now, or Finland wide, also one of the best sky runners. So they did this big commitment to reduce their travel impact. Myself, I had decided, okay, I want to do a maximum of 3 tons of yeah, three tons of emissions of carbon every year, counting like the flights and the car and train traveling. So that at the end it means like for me just to do one international travel a year, and that's, I think it's to change from I can go to these places, so I go to make the travel something exceptional. It's that race or that project that is really meaningful. That's what I feel that, okay, that can be correct, but the rest try to do more local races and stay like doing not training camps far away, but just to train from home. So that's my commitment. Xavier has another, but I think each of us should look where we can reduce and to change from what we can to what is really meaningful. That's one first step, I would say.
Cool. Well, that's thrown one of my plans out the window, Kilian, because I was going to invite you to Colorado for a training camp. So we'll have to talk about that offline. Okay.
Yeah, maybe not the best moment. Yeah.
No, not at the moment. No. Okay, I'm just going to check to see if we have any questions from the audience here. Any questions, anybody for Kilian? I'm not seeing any. No. Okay. All right. Yeah. Tim, shout it out and I'll translate. Yeah. Right. Okay. So this question from Tim. Yeah. Tim. So Tim Steen from Salt Health here. So Tim was saying, do you have, or are you aware of any races that are already advocating to become carbon neutral? And I guess also, are you thinking of creating maybe some kind of register or standards? That races can achieve to show that they're moving towards this?
Yeah. So answering to your question, actually, I have some races. Actually, we had a big like since we launched the website, it has been many races and brands and athletes that they were joining. So in terms of races, actually, for example, Hard Rock 100, Dale was a very kind of like they already do a lot of work on having sustainable, mostly on the aid stations and that, but going another step, and also like all the races that are Urea events is Dale that he organized. Shane O'Hai that he organized the Skyline in Scotland, the Dragons Black Race, Cape Worth Ultra. So all the races, he has an amazing plan, an amazing guideline for his own events to be carbon neutral from this year, and to put a lot of input also in other subjects like the goodies, eliminating all the goodies. That's a very important thing for all the events. Eco Trail in France, but they have races internationally. Ultra Pyreneo, Golden Trail Series, also they enter the charter on a bit slower steps, but also like to try to do a progressive plan for the next 5 years. And actually, I haven't uploaded the list of people that has commit on the event side, but it has been, I think they are around 20 more that they has been putting the pledge. Then it's the same, like for athletes, it's hard to monitorize, or like it's more like you take the pledge and you can like do by yourself, you can share on the social media, but for events and for brands, we want to take it seriously. So we are demanding to them to send us the report every year, so we can really see that they are taking the pledge seriously, and it's not like greenwashing. So they just say, I take the pledge, and then they are not doing anything. But for them, we are just we are monitoring what they are doing, so we can put them there so people really see that they are doing the job.
Cool. Is that good answer, Tim? Yeah. So that's, I mean, I think that gives us another choice really in terms of, we as consumers, we have choices about where we invest our money, where we spend our money, and so that's another factor I think that is important for we can make choices about which races we go for, which races we attend, and choose races specifically that are aiming to be carbon neutral, because it makes sense to do that. Nancy, you have a question?
Morning, Kilian.
Morning.
Thanks again for joining us. This is Nancy. So, of course, I always ask you lots of questions. But if an event, how do they then promote the organization and promote the message that you're trying to share? Are they able to, I mean, obviously link social media, but how involved can they get to help you share this message?
Did you hear that okay, Kilian?
Yeah, I think you asked about how we can help to share the message, right?
Yes.
So I think it's first sharing what we do. I think the most important is and actually one of the goals on the athlete side is to promote environmental actions, and I think it's important to share, to bring the conversation in our social media. When we go to a race, to ask the race director, do you have a stand where I can put gear to recycle? Or what's the, when they are giving you a bag with goodies, saying, no, thank you. So it's to bring the conversation. I think it's very important. And that's on social media, it's with our friends, is just on the WhatsApp group or that, just to share tips, say, okay, that's what I do. And I like, for example, a lot the Protector Winters approach that says it's not about being a perfect advocate, but it's about doing what we can and what we feel ready, and not being ashamed of not doing enough, because it's to do a little, and then one step is leading to other ones. But I think the most important is to bring the conversation and share it on, as I said, social media or with people. And for athletes, for pro athletes, it's one important thing is to talk with our sponsors. Guys, what are you doing with waste? What are you doing with why you don't stop with PCC, some kinds of microplastics, microfibers, and is to push them, to ask them what they are doing, and that's our job as professional athletes too. For an amateur athlete or a consumer is also choosing when they go to buy something, looking the footprint of this gear, then they are also telling the brands what you want to buy. So I think it's just when we take a decision, as you said before, that it comes from buying or it's also in not only in the outdoors, but also as I said before, if you put money in a bank, look where this bank is investing the money, because we can be vegan and having a fully solar powered house, but then if we are having our money in a bank that is investing on Alaskan petrol, then it's it's kind of the opposite. So I think it's important to see what are we telling with our boys and with our investments when we go buying things, because at the end is that can change the influencing other people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it can have the impact that the savings that we're making as individuals can be outweighed by the actions for the banks and institutions that our money are invested in. Nancy, I think Nancy's got another question for you, Kilian. Hold on.
Sure.
So, with representing the American Trail Running Association, of course, I know Tate Coleman on our staff has reached out to you, and we're going to be doing an article to showcase things that you're doing. So we just want to let you know that we're going to stand by you and support your organization and help share the message. So we'll do what we can on our end with the American Trail Running Association to do that.
No, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I encourage everybody like to join the pledge. It's just to share ideas at the end. Like for me, what was important to put out there is just to share as many ideas and many things that we can do, and because I believe that, or that's how I saw myself. Like I wanted to take some actions, but I didn't know exactly what were these actions and the best ones. So for me, it was to make this platform to get ideas myself, and then I has been seeing like many people just putting out there what they do and inspiring people to follow.
Cool. Any more questions from the audience? You guys are very quiet this morning. Okay, Kilian, one thought that comes to mind is are you doing? I know in terms of setting up the charter that you worked with a number of people to help you and pull together information and ideas. But in turn, are you now running this on your own? Is this something you and Emily are doing working together, or do you have a kind of team in the background? How does that work?
Yeah, well, like maybe some of you know that I launched a foundation early this year in September, and that's a bit the goal, like to have projects like these and other different projects. But actually, the foundation I'm kind of I have a team that is more on the legal side and all this administration. But for the projects, it's me with some other people that it's helping. And for example, for the charter, it was many athletes that they were collaborating in different volunteering, like on putting ideas out, on translating, on coding a bit the site. So that was, for example, here in US, Dakota Jones or Clara Gallagher, as I said before, Xavier Tevenard, and then some other people that has been volunteering on doing the job. So it's I'm spending time on that because I like it. Like I want to spend more time, all the time that before I was doing interviews or some things for sponsors. I want to put on that. So it's what this 50% of my work time I do on the foundations or on things on that. But it's a lot about the volunteering, so that the people that is volunteering for the foundation, that they are helping on making all these projects rolling.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, well, we're definitely behind you with supporting the charter, Kilian, and getting the word out here in the United States and around the world. So, what kind of feedback have you had so far? Because you've literally just launched the charter this week. So, what kind of feedback have you had so far? And are you happy with how things are developing so far compared to what your goal was when you started?
Yeah, it's been like I launched the charter earlier this week, so it was on Tuesday, so it's only like a few days ago, and the response, it has been amazing. Like it has been more than 300 different like persons or brands or events that they has joined it, and I think the idea of having the space of sharing more than just like to putting the goals, it's if people really like it, and we are we have the idea that to keep doing more things. I said before, like we are thinking about having a webinar there, like so all these tips and explanations can also be on a video format. Other ideas for the monitoring and that. So for the moment, the response is very positive, and people want to share things. Even like athletes, I think it's very cool that they share things, but also in the brand side, that it's a bit more difficult, because at the end it's like technological things that they might have. And some of the brands, they were very open on sharing these kind of resources that they have on cut patterns or how to change this supply chains to make more sustainable. So they were very open, say, okay, that's something that we has been maybe investing a lot of money or putting a lot of work of it, but we want to share it for other brands for free because they believe on that. So I think that's very cool that people has been very, very kind of the idea of like having this space to share, and that's very positive. So yeah, for the moment I'm super happy on that, and it's for me is not something that I wanted to make a big impact on the launch of the charter, because it's a long-term project. It's not like of like having 1 week of like, yeah, we do that and everybody's super excited, and then it's just like everybody forgetting. But for me, it's more important that the charter is there, and when someone is ready to take 1, 2, 5 commitments, goes there, have the resources and goes, and that can be today, that can be in 1 month, it can be in 2 years, it can be in 3 years, but the goal is to not have one momentum, but to build something that it's there all the time, and that can, that it's just growing slowly, and that hopefully it can grow in a way that in a few years it's more resources, and it makes it easier for people to achieve these commitments.
Very cool, very cool. Well, Kilian, we will be doing all that we can to help you keep momentum moving, and very excited about the charter and what you started, and so pleased to connect with you. And also a shout out, so Claire Gallagher that you mentioned, that she connected you with me. So
yeah, exactly.
Big thanks to Claire for doing that. So yeah, really excited. And Kilian, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us again this morning, and thank you for coming all the way from Norway virtually. And so round of applause for Kilian, please.
Woo. No, thank you very much, and yeah, have a great day here. Enjoy the conference.
Yeah, all right, Kilian, thank you so much. Take care. We'll speak soon.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Bye for now.